What's up, guys? It's the end of July, so that means it's time to update our Oscar predictions for 2025. This month and next month are kind of the slow months, and then we get into Venice and TIFF and Telluride and all that, and that's when we really kind of kick off. Let's get into it. We got new trailers, we got new information. Let's get into it. Best Picture. So my 10 are Sinners, Sentimental Value, Begonia, Wicked for Good, Jay Kelly, Martin Supreme, One Battle After Another, Avatar Fire and Ash, Frankenstein, and Rental Family. Sinners, Sentimental Value, Begonia, Wicked for Good, they all kind of stayed there. Nothing's really changed for them yet. I think I think Sinners, Sentimental Value are top two. It's going to be like that for a while until probably the festivals, unless something bigger happens. And then Begonia, Wicked for Good, I think are just based on track records, good fits. Jay Kelly is going to Toronto or Venice, I'm not sure which one. That seems to be following the Marriage Story kind of trajectory, so that's why it's kind of high up there. I feel like Netflix is really going to push that movie. Marty Supreme kind of fell a little bit. It's not going to Venice and it's not going to TIFF. That's a little concerning. I read a little bit about the movie. They're saying it has widespread appeal and it's very there's like long shots and it's filmed very nice and stuff like that. So there's a lot for the Oscars to like about it. I just don't, and like it has the Christmas release, Timothée Chalamet. It seems like it's almost too good to be true, and I don't know if it's like we're putting all our bets into this horse and it's gonna be like surprise wasn't that good. I don't think it's gonna happen, but like I just need to see more for it to go back into like the top five. One Battle After Another, another movie that's not premiering at Toronto or Venice. They don't seem to be going to festival route. I wonder if they're trying to keep that. They don't like. It makes me think like they don't want word to get out in like middling reviews, and then like the box office isn't good. And I just don't know if they're pushing more. This is a box office movie, or if this is like a critical darling. PTA kind of gets nominated. He's been getting nominated his last few movies every time, for director at least and picture. So I still trust it. I still think it's gonna probably be an Oscar Best Picture movie. That's why it's in the bottom half, though. It's like Marty Supreme. I need to see more. I mean, we saw trailers and they look great, and I can see that getting technical stuff and some acting things. And probably it's gonna get picture. I just don't know if it's gonna be like a double digit, nomination load or like just nominations here and there. So I think that is a little bit more reliable than Marty Supreme, but Marty Supreme has more of a Oscar-y vibe to it. So Avatar Fire and Ash, they at the time of this recording, I am actually going to my Fantastic Four screening, and they're playing the trailer in front of it, the first trailer, exclusively in theater. So I'm curious to see how that is. Like I said, you don't bet against James Cameron. I do think it's probably gonna get nominated. Avatar got nominated. Avatar: The Way of Water got nominated. It's only like fair to say that this one's gonna get nominated. The only thing that makes me nervous, and I've said this on multiple videos, is that I don't know if it's been too kind of short. The span hasn't been as long as Avatar 1, 2. So people are like, oh, we kind of saw that already. I heard from people who saw the trailer already, like the visuals are very distinct, so it could be a very totally different story, enough to get nominated, but I just don't know yet. Then I have Frankenstein. Guillermo del Toro, in his like most recent career, in filmmaking career, a lot of his movies have gotten Best Picture. We have Shape of Water won Best Picture. Nightmare Alley got that surprise nomination that people weren't expecting it to get, but it ended up getting Best Picture nomination. I think that's going to happen for Frankenstein. I can see Netflix pushing two movies. I feel like they've done it before. It wouldn't be a surprise for me. I feel like they can get it done. They have the bandwidth for it. I just think it's gonna be. It seems very big scale, but auteur at the same time. Like big scale Oscar. Like I just feel like it has that combo where it's gonna get it, and they like Shape of Water, they like Nightmare Alley. It has that same kind of vibe to it. I think Guillermo del Toro is gonna push at least a Best Picture out. I can also see it being like Best Picture but no director, sort of like how Barbie got it, where it got Best Picture, didn't get director, then it got a lot of text. I could see Frankenstein kind of following that path as well. And a new one in the top 10 is Rental Family. It's Searchlight's only movie right now. I've seen things online that like this movie is incredible, and like Searchlight just putting everything into it. So I can see this kind of being like the surprise hit. It's going to TIFF. I can see it winning People's Choice and then taking off from there. So that's how my 10 other options are. Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. I think it's probably going to get in. I just am weary that like they're going to go for two biopics that are very similar in style and the way they're approaching it, like A Complete Unknown and, Deliver Me From Nowhere. I just don't know if they're going to be like, we've had enough, but they love musical biopics. So that's why I'm like, it's kind of on the line. After the Hunt released a trailer, it looks pretty Oscar baity and it looks very Oscar-y. It looks very spotlight. It looks very Steve Jobs. Like I can see it. It's very like actor's movie. And I was gonna pull a lot of it out. I was gonna pull a lot of the, the ones I had, the picks for it I had out of my top fives, but I'm leaving in a few. I think, like I said, it's gonna compare it to Steve Jobs, where Steve Jobs got two acting nominations: supporting actress for Kate Winslet and an actor for Michael Fassbender. I can see that happening for Julia Roberts and Andrew Garfield. There is a chance that if it's better, if it's better received than I'm thinking it's going to be, and the Oscars just like love it and want to nominate it for a lot more stuff, I think I can see it getting director. I can see it getting A.O. Debris. I can see it getting Chloe Sevigny, the other supporting actor. I forgot his name at the moment. I can see it being a much bigger movie nomination wise, but I think its bottom, its floor is maybe two acting nominations. It was just an accident. They announced that for Venice or TIFF. I've been I'm not putting it my 10. A lot of people have it in their 10 for a lot, in their 5 for a lot of things. I'm not there yet because I feel like it won Palme d'Or, obviously. It had a big thing. Neon bought it. It's not Neon's biggest movie. It's going to be Sentimental Value is their main push. I also feel like it just kind of died down. Maybe these festivals can get its name back in the conversation, and I will be more willing to put it in a 10. Hamnet, I haven't seen anything. I just can't put it in. No, I can't. It seems very Oscar-y, but I don't know if it's going to be like a Empire of Light. It will be a TIFF. I just don't know if we're going to have another like Empire of Light where people are like, oh, this is going to be amazing. Sam Mendes, all this looks very Oscar-y, and then I don't even think got a nomination. So I don't want it to go that path. I like Chloe Zhao, but like I want to see a trailer first because it almost seems. Someone said that it seems like it's gonna be homework for the Oscar voters, and based on what I'm reading about it, I can see that as well. But that doesn't mean they've never not nominated stuff like that. So we need to see a trailer before I can really put it higher. Catherine Bigelow's new movie, House of Dynamite. I think it's going to Venice. I think it's gonna be similar to Selma, where it gets Best Picture and then gets maybe like one more and then like snubbed everywhere else. The subject matter is very current right now, and I feel like Oscars can love it and other guilds can love it. It can almost be like the more dramatic version of like Don't Look Up, and I'm be curious to see if that's where it's going more. Just based on the summary is that's where I'm getting it from. Catherine Bigelow and James Cameron have put a movie together at the same time before. That was 2009. Avatar, Hurt Locker, both were nominated. Hurt Locker even won. So I do think that could pop in. It could be a screenplay movie. It could be an acting movie. But right now, from just hearing very little about it, I think it's going to be picture, maybe screenplay, maybe one more tech. That's what I'm getting from it. Because Catherine Bigelow hasn't had the best track record since Hurt Locker, so I'm kind of a little trepidatious. But we'll know after Venice. So, Battle of a Small Player, Edward Berger, his last two movies have both done very well at the Oscars. It's just something to keep in there. The Secret Agent, Brazil. Don't underestimate Brazil. I feel like this could be I don't know if it's because of I'm Still Here. We're just still like recency bias that we think this is going to happen, and maybe it won't. But maybe it can get a surprise nomination. I think mostly they're focusing on actor right now, and I think actor is the one that's, if anything's going to happen, it's going to be actor. But we all said that about Fernando Torres. So, Life of Chuck, I think that fell off pretty hard. It's like Sing Sing, so if it may be able to get maybe like one nomination at the end of the day, maybe screenplay. I think Neon botched this. I think they did exactly what A24 did with Sing Sing, and no one's talking about it anymore, even though everyone's saying it's a very good movie. F1 can do the Top Gun Maverick thing, can do the 4v Ferrari thing. It could be that kind of crowd-pleasing movie if it can stay in that conversation and doesn't get like buried by all the new stuff coming out of the festivals. And then lastly, I have for picture out of like the outside of the 10, Rivals of the Amazon King. I am very hesitant to just like take this off now because like no one's bought it. It's not going to any festivals. It's only been screened at South by Southwest. I want it. Everyone's saying it's amazing. So like, why? I feel like if it gets bought, it's going next year, and it's gonna do the Life of Chuck. It's gonna do the Sing Sing thing. So something probably might take this 20 spot. Until someone acquires it, I'm losing faith. Best director Ryan Coogler still at number one. Joachim Trier at number two. Yorgos Lanthimos number three. Paul Thomas Anderson. He went in his Phantom Thread, Licorice Pizza, his most recent ones that got nominated. They got best director. So if they can, if because of how bigger he's going and bigger in scale, they might want to recognize him. But we also have, in my five, I already have a few bigger movies, so they might be like, well, we already have enough. Then I have Wicked for Good. I have John M. Chu. I know people are calling me crazy for this. No one's doing it. People are saying if you have it in there, you're crazy. I could be crazy. I'm just thinking he's going to do like what George Miller did. He directed a bunch of Mad Max. No one really recognized him. Mad Max Fury Road came out. He got a nomination. He got a bunch of nominations. I feel like if John M. Chu can stick the landing, this could be like his Fury Road, where like everyone just wants to praise him because of how great of a job he did. So I'm leaving him my five. Very easily he can fall on my five, but I think he is on that border. Like I said, he won the Critics' Choice, and I remember they made this stat where everyone who won this Best Director at Critics' Choice went on to either be nominated for an Oscar for Best Director or won, and he wasn't for the first one. I feel like people are gonna change that for the second one. Then we have Josh Shafty, Murray Supreme. I just don't know enough about it yet. It seems like he can easily get in there. I don't know if he's too new and stuff. They really don't want to recognize him yet. They might not. The director from Rental Family, that's in my best picture right now. Like I said, I feel like it's gonna be big. It could be like a Coda, but Coda didn't get it. So that's why I'm like it's kind of on the line right now. It is the only female director I have on here right now. And I know the Oscars there's been at least one woman, so I'm trying to figure out who that is going to be this year. It was just an accident. Like I said, I feel like I need that movie to raise its its status again with the festivals for me to kind of consider him in the five. After the Hunt, Luca Guadagnino. Is this the time? I've been saying this for now, I think like 4 videos now. I don't know if this is the time yet for him. I don't know if Call Me By Your Name was his only one and he just can't get in. Or, like I said, they are drawn to it like a light, the Oscar voters, and want to recognize him. And it's finally like his day in court. And this might be like the year we're talking about Luca Guadagnino a lot. It seems very Oscar, and it seems like it's more like a Call Me By Your Name situation than a Challengers and a Queer, but we're just going to wait and see. See how the reception is and all that. Then I have Noah Baumbach, Jay Kelly. He didn't get nominated for Marriage Story. I think there's a chance if it does a little better than Marriage Story, but I think it's following that Marriage Story kind of track. Best Actress has pretty much stayed the same. Renata Ryzova for Sentimental Value, Julia Roberts After the Hunt, Cynthia Erivo, Wicked for Good, Emma Stone, Begonia. I did switch. I don't know if I had Jessie Buckley last month in my 5 or Jennifer Lawrence, but those are kind of switching back and forth for me. I have Jennifer Lawrence right now because they're saying it's a career best, but we've heard that before. Angelina Jolie with Maria. I just don't know enough about Hamnet yet, like I said before. But that could easily switch again. We haven't really heard much about Die My Love after Cannes. I don't know if it's going to any more festivals to keep that Jennifer Lawrence's name in the conversation. So if it doesn't go, it's going to fall. And I think Jessie Buckley's going to swap back in there. Amanda Seyfried, The Testament of Anne Lee. That is going to Venice, I believe. 70mm. It's a musical. I feel like this could be a very standout role for her, and that she can be rising very quickly. Tessa Thompson, Hedda. June Squibb, Eleanor the Great, Amy Adams at Sea. They're still kind of the same people. There hasn't been a lot of like so many that you can't even fit into 10 like for the acting categories yet. I think after the festivals we're going to see a lot more though of that. Best Actor, Timothée Chalamet, Murray Supreme. I think no matter what happens with Murray Supreme, Timothée Chalamet is going to be nominated. George Clooney, Jay Kelly, Leonardo DiCaprio, One Battle After Another, Jesse Plemons, Begonia, Jeremy Allen White, Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. Similar with Murray Supreme, I think no matter what happens with Deliver Me From Nowhere, I think he is getting nominated, Jeremy Allen White. And I think that's its like best chance. Same with Marty Supreme right now. That's its well, I have it for picture, but like its best chance is like actor. So then outside of the 5, I do have Michael B. Jordan at number 6 for Sinners. I don't know if Sinners is going to be like Barbie, where they nominate like it's a big movie, budget, box office, and they still nominate the actors, or if it's going to be like Doom Part 2 and the other like kind of big blockbusters that get a lot of text and Best Picture, but not a lot of like above the line stuff. I think I need to like I need to see what they're feeling. If like some awards start like nominating them, I will put him possibly to 5. I think this best chance. I think acting wise, the best chance is Michael B. Jordan. I think there's a bunch of other ones that could be nominated, but I think he has the best chance, followed by Delroy Lindo. And maybe if they really want to love it, they can nominate more. But I feel like it's gonna fall because it's early in the year. It's gonna fall on more of the big blockbuster that doesn't get acting. But if they campaign enough, if they campaign enough, Michael B. Jordan could be nominated, and I think that would be a big upset if he wasn't. I just don't know if I'm ready to say they are going to definitely. Then I have Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent. I think he's going to follow the Fernando Torres. I think Brazil rides hard for their people, and I think they're going to help get him nominated. But like I said, it could be like, hey, we just did this. Maybe not. Then we have Brendan Fraser, Rental Family, the Dwayne Johnson, The Smashing Machine, and Daniel Day-Lewis, Amonet. Amonet is not going to any festival right now, as far as I know, like Venice or Toronto. But Dwayne Johnson and Brendan Fraser will be there for their movies, and we'll finally, hear more about their performances. Is this a Dwayne Johnson renaissance where they're gonna put him in there, or is it gonna be like a Jennifer Lawrence where he gets so close and then falls right out? Best Supporting Actress, I have Ariana Grande. I swear she would have won if Zoe Saldana wasn't there. So I think this is her year. I have Elle Fanning, Sentimental Value. I'm apologizing for this name. Igna Itzdatter Laisa, the other supporting character in Sentimental Value. I can see this movie. From what I'm hearing, it's an amazing movie. It could be like a double nomination this easily. I think it's gonna be a very acting heavy movie on top of a lot of like text and picture and director, all that stuff. I think it's gonna get a lot of nominations on Oscar morning. Then I have Jennifer Lopez, Kiss of the Spider-Woman. I don't know if this movie's gonna be a nothing burger or if it's just gonna be Jennifer Lopez, or if it can get a few more. The read on this movie has been all over the place. I do think Jennifer Lopez is their best chance, and from what I heard, she is incredible in this. But we know what happened with Hustlers. But this is a very different movie. So maybe this is the one that can do it for her. Then I have Gwyneth Paltrow, Marty Supreme. I think they like, big Hollywood stars that have been recognized years ago, come back, do a great job, and like they love to nominate them for that. I think Gwyneth Paltrow could fall in that, but she could easily fall out. Some other ones, like I said, Ayo Debris can get there depending on how they receive After the Hunt. Laura Dern, Jay Kelly, she's already won for a Baumbach movie. Can she do it again? Christoph Waltz has done it. There's probably been other people as well. Maybe she is going to fall into that. Maybe she can switch with Gwyneth Paltrow. Glenn Close, Wake Up Dead Man, Knives Out Mystery. I really think they're going to push her hard, and they love to nominate Glenn Close. Why not? If Knives Out is well received, why not put it there? My gut is telling me that, like, she got nominated for Hillbilly Elegy. Why not this? Like, my gut's telling me this might happen, but I'm not 100% sure yet, so I don't want to put it in my 5. Emily Blunt's Slashing Machine and Mari Yomoto, Rental Family. We'll see when those, like I said, for actor, we'll see what happens when those go to Venice or TIFF. Supporting actor, I put Stellan Skarsgård. I moved him up to number 1. I heard he is incredible and an easy one if they want him to. But I also heard Adam Sandler and Jay Kelly is just as good. But more people have seen Stellan Skarsgård, so I'm putting him at number 1 right now. Andrew Garfield, he was great in the trailer After the Hunt. Really interesting performance. Very meaty role that he can do very well with. Sean Penn, One Battle After Another. I've heard a lot, besides like Leo, a lot of the supporting cast members aren't really worthy of like a nomination. I've heard except for Sean Penn, so I'm putting him in there. If they're picking him out specifically, he must be worth something right now. Then I'm doing I'm putting Wicked in a lot more than I thought I was. Jonathan Bailey, Wicked for Good. He was nominated for SAG. I think this movie is gonna get more nominations, or if just as equal as the first one. And I think if it loses one, I think it's going to pick up one in acting. I really think with his storyline, it's much more complex. That if he can do a good job, I think he can be recognized with Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. It would be like the three of them, like a trio. Then I have Paul Mescal, Hamnet. I have to see the movie. Delroy Lindo, Sinners. It's like Michael B. Jordan, like what I said with him. I just think I think he has a harder chance. He's been snubbed quite a bit for other performances. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets snubbed for this as well. But it seems like Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo are the ones that are kind of poking above the rest of the cast, and we'll see if anything changes in the coming months. Stephen Graham and Jeremy Strong for Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. Maybe one of them could kind of pull out that supporting role from a biopic, depending on maybe who has like more of a media role. And then Akira Emoto from Rental Family. Like I said, I think that will be like maybe like a coda. I'm starting to think it might be like a coda. We'll see if it follows that track. Original screenplay: Sinner, Sentimental Value, Jay Kelly, Mari Supreme, Materialist. Really haven't changed much here. I probably people thinking like Materialist should not be in here. They're probably thinking it should go to another movie, but this is where the Oscars like to kind of have fun with, like movies that aren't necessarily Oscar-y movies or not being considered for like Best Picture or anything else. And I think they do love Celine Song, so I can see her, picking up like almost like Knives Out, like she picks up Best Screenplay nominations. Then I have House of Dynamite. It was just an accident. Rental Family, After the Hunt, Testament of Anne Lee. I feel like we have to hear about the Testament of Anne Lee, After the Hunt, Rental Family, and House of Dynamite. I heard the script is very good for It Was Just an Accident, but we need to wait to see if anything overcomes these five. I think five is probably the only one that I'd be willing to let go of, and House of Dynamite could be like a very, very good screenplay. Rental Family, based on the idea, I can see it being. After the Hunt could be very, very impressive screenplay, depending on how it is. The writer, though, really hasn't written a lot that has been noteworthy. So, The Testament of Anne Lee, written by the same people who did The Brutalist. They nominated The Brutalist, so if it does well at the festival, I can see it climbing up there. I think Materialist has a good shot. I am willing to, by next month, this night might not be my five. Best Adapted Screenplay: Begonia, One Ballad After Another, Wake Up Dead Man, Knives Out Mystery, Ballad of a Small Player, Wicked for Good. Begonia, the ones that he doesn't write, they get nominated. And I think this is going to be the same thing. One Ballad After Another, when his movies get nominated, they almost always get nominated for screenplay, so I'm putting that in there. Wake Up Dead Man, same thing. Every Knives Out movie has been nominated for Best Screenplay, so why change this one? Ballad of a Small Player, Edward Berger, his last movie got nominated for Best Screenplay. Wicked for Good, it was not nominated for the first one. I'm putting it in there because I feel like if they're able to stick the landing, people are going to really be impressed by the screenplay. This could be easily falling out for like something like Life of Chuck, which I think could be like its only nomination if it does get it, but we'll see. Hamnet, I have to wait and see. Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. A Complete Unknown God, I'm really comparing it to that movie, but I can see it maybe not being it can kind of go either way right now. Frankenstein, his movies don't normally get nominated for Best Screenplay, but I feel like it's got a lot of text and a lot of nominations for this movie, so it could be one of them. In Highest to Lowest, Spike Lee has been nominated before, but he's been snubbed, so that's kind of like the movie's getting good reviews, but not like amazing, so I don't think it's necessarily going to happen. Best Animated Feature: Zootopia 2, Elio, K-Pop Demon Hunters, Arco, Animal Farm. These right now are more by popular pick. I mean, we have two Disney movies. You have K-Pop Demon Hunters, which is like blowing up right now. I think Netflix would be stupid not to push this movie. I think it has a chance to get the nomination, so like why not? And then, usually there's some Disney ones, there's some more like indie ones, there's some foreign language ones. This one is a little hard. We got to find out more about certain animated movies. So right now those are my five. Then we have some other options: Scarlet, The Twits, A Magnificent Life, Niza 2. They're releasing that English dub, so that might actually get more people talking about it, and maybe willing to nominate it. So we'll see. Maybe that English dub re-release might help from A24. And then The Day the Earth Blew Up from a Looney Tunes movie. Looney Tunes has been in the news a lot, and I feel like people like really trying to like support it, so maybe they nominated it. I don't know. Best cinematography: Sinners, Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, One Bell After Another, F1. These are either from people who have been nominated for best cinematography before, or the movie does have spectacular cinematography. I do have a lot of more like bigger budget movies and IMAX movies and stuff like that. So one of those could fall out for Begonia, but I don't know if they're gonna. That's more of like a contemporary movie, and they don't necessarily love to recognize that more than period pieces. So we'll see if they want to give it just as many awards. Wicked for Good, if they can fix the cinematography, that was one of the big problems people had with it, but it got nominated in some places. Springsteen Delivery from Nowhere had some black and white, had some color. It can really play. I feel like they're trying stuff with the cinematography. Hamnet, it's Shakespeare. I feel like it's gonna be very nomad looking, very beautiful. Avatar: Fire and Ash, the first one got it. Maybe this one can get it. Who knows? Let's see. Like I said, don't count out James Cameron. Editing: Marty Supreme, Sinners, Sentimental Value, One Bell After Another, F1. Marty Supreme, I hear, is very like long cuts and then very edited too and stuff like that. So I feel like this could be kind of a very showy editing movie. Sinners, they put two movies together and it worked. The editing was incredible for that movie. Sentimental Value, I heard, is a very well edited movie from what people have said. And I just think that's going to be a very big nomination total for this movie. It's going to get a lot of them. One Bell After Another, F1, another one of the battle of the IMAX kind of movies will both be in there. I'm not 100% sure. There is a lot of times they're the ones that would be nominated for Best Picture, and then there's like one outlier. I do think F1 could be like the one outlier. We'll see. Then I have Begonia, Wicked for Good, House of Dynamite, Springsteen, Deliver Me from Nowhere, Avatar: Fire and Ash. Like I said, the first one was nominated, the second one wasn't. Will this kind of like happen again now for the third one? It would be nominated, not nominated, nominated. We'll see. Production design: Sinners, Wicked for Good, Marty Supreme, Fantastic Four: The First Steps, Frankenstein. Sinners, production design was incredible. I think this is going to be like Sentimental Value. They're both going to be very high totals for the nomination count. Wicked for Good at won Best Production Design, so why wouldn't be nominated again? Marty Supreme, period piece. Fantastic Four, period piece. Futuristic period piece. I think they like to nominate Marvel movies if they're doing something creative and different. And I think this one definitely is, and I'm seeing this tonight after this recording, and I feel like it could get more, like score, stuff like that. But I think production design is a very likely thing. I think this could be the same way Black Panther got like production design, costumes, because they were doing something that we never really saw in a superhero movie before, a Marvel movie. I think this could repeat it and do something that they really went above and beyond to make itself different. And if they push it well, it can get nominated for at least some tech stuff. Frankenstein, it looks beautiful, the production design. I can easily see that happening. Avatar: Fire and Ash has gotten it before. Could have get it again. Kiss of the Spider-Woman's it's almost like Chicago, where it's like two different styles of movies. It's going from like musical to not musical, and it's very stark difference. And I wonder if they want to recognize that. I'm starting to like kind of fall off of Kiss of the Spider-Woman, except for like Jennifer Lopez. Then we have Begonia, One Bell After Another, and Hamnet. Those are the nominations we're doing for this month. Let me know what you thought down below. Let me know what you thought of my nominations, what you think is getting nominated. We are very close to the festivals. I'm very excited to hear more about these movies so we can kind of talk about them more in the nomination and get a more clear picture. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Cheers.